Hi, Michelle. My name is Neil. I'm with Dorkaholics, where we believe that there's a dork in everyone, and our job is to bring that dork out into the world.
Hi, Neil. I am a self-proclaimed dorkaholic.
Welcome to the organization. So, to kick things off, I want to know what made you a dork growing up.
Just because I was who I was. I don't know. I grew up with three brothers, and there was nothing I could do that was cool in their eyes. So I just always felt like a dork, whether it was my sticker collection, my wanting to, be blonde-haired and blue-eyed like my girlfriends, whatever it was, I was the biggest dork in their eyes.
Did you
And
ever
and it's
think,
continued. It's continued to my current situation because I have three teenage boys who, no matter what I do, I will forever be a dork in their eyes. So there you go. Self-proclaimed dorkaholic.
I mean, we're a product of the environment we surround ourselves in. So, do you think your brothers or sons as dorks in their own ways?
Nowadays,
In their own ways.
oh, in their ways, I think everybody has a little bit of dorkiness in them.
I
Whether
agree.
it's like my nephew's into video games or my son is really into Star Wars or my all three of my kids are into Pokemon cards. And to me, that is so dorky. But I'm not one to judge. I get it. Pokemon's a huge thing. Um, I just realized that I am a stamp collector, which is probably the dorkiest thing. I didn't realize this about myself. It was really something that a friend pointed out to me because I told him how, oh, did you see the new Chinese New Year stamps? They're amazing for the year of the snake. And I told him that I buy one to keep and one to use, and that I collect them from year to year because I want to have the whole set. And then I buy the ones from artists because I'm a creative. So I love all the artist series. Um, I had to buy the sports one for my kids and the Harry Potter ones for my kids. I don't know, sharks, you name it. I bought them. And he says, Michelle, you're a stamp collector. And I thought, oh my gosh, I am. So there you go. Ultimate dork.
We love it. So, we're here to talk about your newest book, Gordon and Lily, All About Me.
Yep, yep, yep. I have it right here. This is it.
Beautiful. Now, is this the first time we're learning about Gordon and Lily, or is this part of a series?
Oh, this is part of a series. This is the eighth book, I believe. I started this when my kids were 3 and 5. So that was in 2006. So I started writing these books because I wanted to find a way to connect my kids with our heritage, with our language. I did not grow up speaking Chinese, nor was I really that connected to my culture. Growing up in Sacramento, California, I just wanted to be blonde haired, blue eyed like my friends. And so it really just hit me when I had my kids that I am their last link to our heritage. And if it's not me, and if I don't take this on, no one will. So it really came out of a personal story, a personal journey. And it's grown from books to an app to plushies and now merchandise you can see over my shoulder. So it's kind of their own little Gordon and Lily world now.
Beautiful. And tell me about Gordon and Lily. Like, what was the inspiration behind them as characters? Are there certain like homage in your own lives that you're paying to?
Oh, yes, big time. Well, first of all, I chose pandas because they're so beloved, not just in the Asian community, but I think everyone has a soft spot for pandas because they're just gentle creatures. They symbolize friendship. A lot of countries give them as gifts to promote goodwill among each other. So I just love that about pandas. Um, the names have a very interesting story. They're my parents' names. And you know how people say, oh, this is my love letter to my culture. Well, this is kind of my apology letter, if you will, because I was such a, I really just didn't want anything to do with my culture growing up. And I just, I felt really bad about it as an adult later. And I find myself apologizing all the time. I'm so sorry I didn't embrace the culture. I'm so sorry I was so, rude about things and just wanting to shut off my heritage because now I'm like a full-blown born again Chinese. So I named them Gordon and Lily because my father's name is Gordon, my mother's name is Marilee, and Lily in Mandarin means beautiful, and my mother is that both in and out. So this is really my apology letter to my parents and to show them that I fully embrace my culture. I am so sorry for how I behaved in my younger years, and I hope this can make up for it. Here you go.
Oh,
So anyway, that's the story.
I mean, I can definitely relate to that and kind of distancing myself or not giving enough acknowledgement to my Vietnamese American and Asian American background. So
I think it's so common, right?
mhm.
Hmm.
Just because like our families leave an entire continent to come to America. It's so easy for our generation as like first or second generation Americans to kind of fall into like the Western hemisphere of culture and kind of forget about our heritage and traditions.
Oh, completely. All I wanted to do was assimilate, be like my friends. Don't make myself stand out because then I'll get teased on the playground. Don't bring anything weird for lunch or I'll be made fun of. I just wanted to be like everybody else. And I couldn't be more different, but I couldn't see how amazing it is to be different. And, I feel like my kids and kids this time are so lucky to be born right now because there's so much awareness and curiosity about each other's culture and acceptance. And I think this is why Gordon and Lily has meant so much to people because it's providing them that connection that they didn't have that maybe they pushed aside like I did, like you did when we were growing up. And this is a way to gently kind of bridge the gaps or make the connections, a little bit stronger again.
Hmm. Do you want to talk about kind of your own personal journey into rediscovering your heritage?
It really hit me hard when I had my kids, but it started to trickle in a little bit when I moved to New York.
Mm.
I'm from Sacramento, California. I went to school in California. I moved to San Francisco. Um, and it wasn't until I moved to New York where I really started to see true diversity. I mean, I thought San Francisco was diverse coming from Sacramento, but it's still a huge Asian population. It wasn't until I came to New York for a design job and I started traveling the world and I worked in an office of creatives from all different parts of the world where I realized they were so proud of who they were and where they came from. And we all were so interested in hearing about each other's culture, eating each other's food, talking about the things that they celebrated when they were young. And it started to open up this door for me to feel comfortable expressing that and letting it in. And then I started going to the Chinatown here, and we didn't really have a Chinatown in Sacramento. So this Chinatown in New York was so amazing. There was food. I found my favorite reflexology place, my favorite boba tea shop. I mean, shopping, groceries, it was all there. And I started to become really excited about all the opportunities I was learning about. And then most definitely when I had my kids, it just like really hit me on the head like, okay, you've got to be the one to teach your kids about their culture because if you don't, nobody will. They're half Chinese, and there are so many kids now who are half something. And this is what most parents tell me when they come and meet me at events. My kids are half Chinese, Vietnamese, Indian, whatever. And I'm trying so hard to hold on to our heritage. How do you do it? And so I try to give them the things that I've done. And, this is just my way. I take them to Chinatown, take them to dim sum. We watch some cute kitty shows in Mandarin. There's little things that you can do that can bring the culture and the language into your home. So that really kind of sparked this whole journey for me, wanting to connect first of all, for me personally, and to kind of regain what I had lost, but then also to give my kids that gift because I want them to be proud of who they are early on. It took me years to get here, and I'm so glad I'm here, but I want them to have an early start. And I think now more than ever is the time that it's accepted and it's welcomed and we can celebrate it all, especially with AAPI month coming next month, tomorrow.
To close things out, so to bring it back to Gordon and Lily, what can we expect from them in this time around in the eighth book of this series, and hopefully with more to come?
Yes. Well, this book is especially fun because kids can get really animated and, stand up and learn about, oh, this is my head. You can see the fun little enemy, fun little things that Gordon and Lily get up to by making it very simple and easy to learn Mandarin. And that's what Gordon and Lily is really all about, making it easy, making it fun and enjoyable for the whole family. And so I'm my next book that I'm coming out with is going to be because Gordon is from Brooklyn, New York, and Lily's from Beijing. He's going to take her all around New York City. So it's going to be an ABC in NYC book. So that'll be a fun one and a nice like tribute to where I've called home for the past 26 years.
Wow, awesome. I was just in New York this past October and it was my first time like walking to Chinatown and taking the bus back. And oh my
Yeah,
gosh, there was so much food. I didn't even like get halfway through all the things that were recommended to me.
I still haven't been through half of Chinatown. There's so much and it's constantly changing, but it's an amazing place that I feel so lucky to be this close to it.
Thank you so much for your time today, Michelle. Happy AAPI Heritage Month.
Thank you, Neil. Same to you.